Hi, beautiful souls. I'm coming at you today for day 10 of 365 days in my rebellious reality. Today, I don't really feel like a good amount happened today, but I don't know if I have like a teaching point. I had a call with my coach earlier today, kind of began the day that way. And then, hi, sweetie. And we had a really productive session. And I always go into my body in these sessions. And she just holds the space for me and mirrors to me and validates me. And it's so beautiful to have another person who has the same kind of lenses that I do be that mirror for you. Because many times a lot of people in our lives, in our day-to-day lives, can't do that. That's why I feel like it's so beneficial to work with kind of like professionals, other professionals like yourself. Especially when you're as passionate about a topic as I am about the body. And this video that I did on dissociation yesterday, man, it wasn't a mistake. And it was like, when I think back to when I did it, it was like, well, this is something I've wanted to talk about for a while. Hey, Erin, and hey, other viewer who I didn't see your name pop up. Long time no see, girl. So when I did the video on dissociation yesterday, I was like, I've just been meaning to talk about this topic for a while. But man, it opened up like a floodgate of just, well, I've always found that when I talk about things, I'll have these just like other expressions and ideas. Frank, I see you, bro. Sending so much love. Frank and I have known each other since we were kids. We used to ride the bus together, and my mom used to babysit him. Like, holy crap, Frank. So what was I saying? Okay, so when I talk about things, it's like my perception of them ends up expanding somehow. And so I always used to do audio journals. And so now when I come on Instagram and I do these videos and I'll have like one topic, I'll end up ranting and I'll say these like nuggets or like more things will come to me. And then I get off the video and I'm like, and I get to sit with it. And so this dissociation thing is like, holy shit. And I said in that video, which is posted on all my platforms, like I dissociated from my body when I was really, really young and my emotions. And I don't have a lot of memories of my childhood. And dissociation is just connection for anyone who hasn't watched that video, or is just disconnection. If I just said connection, it's disconnection from something. And so when I was working with my coach today, I was like, holy shit, I was just having all these realizations come through just by going into my body, and also by trying to go into my body, but having my mind like fight me. Like, and the more awareness that I cultivate, it's like she'll ask me a question and and she asks like these amazing questions. I ask you guys questions. Like, we don't ask ourselves a lot of questions most of the time. So somebody who's like a deep thinker, when they come in, or like her, she's literally witnessing me from an outside perspective. We can't see our own shit being in here, being ourselves. And so she'll ask me this question. I'm like, oh shit, that's a good question. And immediately my mind will want to answer. And I'm like, no, going into my body. So it was just really, really beautiful session this morning, and so much enlightenment happened. And I kind of like really sat with that a lot today. So I spent a lot of time with that and did some meditation and stuff. And I am working on some more posts, some more content, and just constantly reveling in the magic of this body of ours. And I don't know, just falling in love more and more with this work every day. And I'll answer that in a second, Bri. Falling more and more in love with this work. It has truly changed my life, and this is the beginning, and I feel it and I know it with every cell in my body. And another really cool thing that happened today is that I'm a myofascial release practitioner. In 2019, I went to I stayed in Portland, Oregon. I took a series of 3 seminars in Washington with a gentleman named John Barnes. He's a physical therapist, and oh my gosh, Laura, I love you, girl. He's a physical therapist, a licensed massage therapist, and he developed this technique, this magical, like, hands-on technique to release the fascia in the body, which is our connective tissue that runs head to toe. It's becoming discovered more and more, but it's magical, just like everything else about the body. And so I have been dying to start having myofascial release clients. And this freaking pandemic really put a damper on person-to-person contact. It's a hands-on modality. And so I have been calling in clients energetically for a long time. And I booked an appointment with a woman locally today for a week from today. So I'm so excited to go and just, this woman's been through like so much. And I'm just so excited to go and put my hands on her body and just like help her. Her next step was going to be surgery, like really intense surgery. Like they were going to put plates in her wrists. And I mean, who knows? They still might. But I was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so glad she ended up finding me online somewhere. And I was like, I'm so glad you reached out. So I'm really anticipating miracles, magic and miracles for her, but I'm also not attached to anything. And so that was another really exciting thing that happened today. And so I think it's like you can go into the body or you can like go through the body like this. And I'm just all about all of it. And so, Bri, what do I really feel at the moment? Shit. I don't know. Hold on. All right. I'm going to ask my body. I feel I don't know. I feel baby moving. I feel maybe it would be easier for me to describe my sensations first. I feel things happening in my solar plexus, which is like a really intense point for me right now. I feel things happening in my womb with baby. But like the feelings that I have, like I feel safe. I feel calm. I feel grounded. I feel tired. I feel something that I feel is I've been feeling a lot of not enoughness. Like, and that came up in my session. Like this just default lack program that likes to come in and run the show every so often. So that's something I really took out of my session today, was like, I would like to really become more acutely aware of my my thought processes, because I think that a lot of my energy, which I feel has been unconscious, but it's starting to become more conscious, a lot of my energy leaks out to desiring more than I have. And that, like, that's an energetic leak, you know? So I heard this, I'm in this like masterclass situation right now for 3 days. It just ended today. And this woman's so like, she just like cuts through the bullshit with her words. And she said something so powerful. And she said, if you can't hold what you have now, I can't repeat it. I can't fully remember it. Something along the lines of like, if you can't hold what you have now and basically like be grateful for it and be able to like open up space in your life for the gratitude of what you have now, how do you expect to have other things and to call other things in? And so I've really been sitting with that and just sitting with these realizations that I have. Like, I'll like wake up like, you know, multiple times throughout the day and be like, oh wow, my thoughts are focusing on like desires and like what I don't have and so every time that happens for the past like few days that I've been aware of it, I am starting to bring myself into my body and to bring gratitude in and to breathe into gratitude and to like feel the things that I have in my body. That's something that I'm working on, and as like a means of contradicting like the dissociation that I think I still have woven throughout me in different ways, that I'm not fully aware of yet. And so like if I have a like on something, or somebody compliments me, or somebody texts me, or, you know, this client today, or I get an Etsy order, or like whatever little baby thing happens, instead of just breezing over it like I have a tendency of doing, and feeling, and, you know, not connecting with the like every little thing, I feel like I'm bringing more gratitude in by doing that. I'm hyper focusing more on the little things instead of constantly focusing on like the big picture of like lack. It's the same way of saying you have to love yourself before you love someone else. I can see how you got that from it. I don't get that from it. I'm not saying you're wrong. Just saying I don't get that from it. I can see how you made the connection, but I think to me it felt very much like, you know, it's like we are constantly living in this future reality. And we have this, our brain has this tendency, or is that our societal programming and like the programs that we all hold, I don't know, but we tend to focus on just the negative, like what we don't have. So for me, I distinctly remember the chase. And so what happens when we have that mentality is that we are constantly chasing something, because at the end of the day, the moment we get what we thought we wanted, we're already on to the next thing. And so that's why I feel like it's like if you're not present with what you have in the moment, if you can't hold the gratitude for what you have in the moment and be with what you have in the moment and be grateful, how, like, there's not even, you're not even, so as I talk about this, what's coming to me is like, from the view of the nervous system, the majority of our nervous systems are dysregulated. And part of that dysregulation is constriction. And so when we have constriction in our nervous system, we have, and we want to reshape our nervous system, we have to start expanding it slowly, or else it'll get overwhelmed and we'll go into like different trauma responses. So when she said what she said, basically how I viewed it was like, if I can't even allow myself to expand enough to hold what I have now instead of being almost like detached from it, there's not even space to call more in, because I haven't even allowed myself to expand into the gratitude of what I already have. And so that's where the breath has really been helping me, and this somatic work has really been helping me. And I keep coming across these mentors that are, somatic work is of or relating to the body. That's what somatic means. So somatic work is body. So I keep, these mentors keep coming into my fields with these different somatic practices, and I'm just soaking it all up and taking advantage of it, and integrating it into my own practice. People with addictive personality are usually never satisfied and always looking for more. Yeah. It's like the same kind of emptiness almost. It's like, I remember, I fought to get into nursing school. Like, all I wanted was to get into nursing school. I lived and breathed it, and just like couldn't get enough of it. The pursuit. Then I got in. And I'm like, okay, now that I'm in, I have to prepare. And then when I prepared, it's like, okay, now I have to get an A in every class. And then it's like every single thing, it was like I would hit what I wanted. And then it was immediately I had to get to like the next milestone, the next milestone, the next milestone. So 2 years passed like that. I graduated at the top of my class, which was my goal. And I have to say, you go home, I go home after graduation, and it's like, I'm empty. I accomplished everything that I set out to do, and I was still empty. And I think that that's what addiction is. It's like, or those are characteristics of addiction. It's like you're pursuing something. But I don't know. I think it's different too. God, this human condition is so complicated. I think addiction is our attempt to regulate our nervous system. And our attempt to avoid feeling. But it is on such a subconscious level. I can't even tell you how much I'm still learning about my body that has been out of my awareness. Every single day, I learn something new about myself and my body that has been out of my awareness this entire time. Like, this shit goes so deep to the core of our being that we don't even have an awareness of a lot of the reasons why we do things. They find it one way or another, either through reality or through non-reality substances. But it's not real satisfaction. It's empty. It's fleeting. You know? It's really just like a hit of dopamine or a hit of adrenaline. I was listening to this podcast earlier. She was talking about how we get addicted to stress. We get addicted to adrenaline. And so even complaining and like gossiping with people, that can give us validation, and we can get hits of dopamine and adrenaline for that kind of thing. And she likened it to snorting a line of coke, that it was like that what is the word? I don't know. I had the word and then I lost it. It's that addictive. It's that stimulating, let's say. That's what I meant to say. Stimulating. I'm feeling complete, Bri. Do you have anything else before I go? I'm going to read a book now. And then I'm going to pass out. I might pass out reading the book. You never know what you got until it's gone. Yeah, I don't necessarily know how that ties into the conversation, but I mean gratitude, you know, like we were talking about last weekend, is like, how can you continue to have gratitude for something after you got it, you know? I think a lot of us lose sight of that, and I think it has to do with the lack mentality of just hyper focusing on what we don't have, which it's just, I feel like it's just an innate characteristic. I feel like it's just a human characteristic. We just have to notice it and choose to break it. But it's not a passive process. It's like a being alert about your thought patterns and then reorienting yourself. And it's also about letting a lot of shit go. All right, sweetie. Thanks for being on here with me. I hope you have a good night and sweet dreams. I hope all of you do. People with addictive personality are always searching for what they don't have or what they are looking for. I really don't know. That could be true. But I don't know that. It's like I'm trying to think about people that I've come across, and it doesn't seem that, you know, that saying, like, all who wander are not lost. It doesn't seem like, it seems like I've met a good amount of people who have not been, you know, bound by these addictions, who are still searching. So I think if you have an addictive personality and that is, you know, and personal development becomes a part of your life, I think that it can cause you to search aggressively, but I don't know that all people with addictive personalities are searching. I don't even know if that makes sense. Hun, I'm gonna go, okay? I'm feeling like this has gone farther than I had intended today. My energy is not holding up. So thank you for being on here. I will see you tomorrow, everyone. Have a good night. And put any comments. Thank you for being here. I love you too, Bri. Good night.